Good morning. Good morning. My hat's crooked. Well, I fell asleep with my hat on. Now I gotta do some work on it. There. That looks better. Don't fall asleep with your hat on. It bends the brand. Who knew? All right, I see some ones. Happy Saturday morning. I'm Ava. This is Crafting Hour, and the channel is Ava Potterfield and Friends. And thank you so much for being here. There's Lily T saying good morning. Jonathan at Crossover Paranormal Society. Good morning. Christina at Dyson's Crazy Adventure. Good morning. And there's some ones right there. Christina says it's trying to rain. It rained here. We got about 3/4 inch. I gotta wipe these glasses off. And just a nice gentle rain. In fact, we had gone into town and it rained at our house, and it never did rain where we were in town. It's kind of crazy. It's just like 5 minutes away from home. There, I can see better now. Nice. Let's see. Let's take this off the bottom. All right. Well, today I'm going to be sewing together my vest, my sweater vest. And I don't know if you remember, but I made a solid back for it. And then I made the 2 sleeves, sides, not sleeves, that have the, that'll be the bottom. This will be the top. It'll be like this. And I have 2 matching sides. To sew together. So that'll be good. And then I'll finish edging it, and then I'll decide if it needs some buttons or just exactly what is it going to need, because right now I don't know. I have to figure that out as I go. But it's okay. I've got a little notebook for taking some notes. Plan out what I'm going to do. I've got my yarn needles here for sewing and working in my ends. And I've got 2 crochet hooks here. If I want to pull things through, I can just reach through and pull them through. I think I'm good. My yarn's over there. I have to get up to get it. I can't reach it. It's over here behind the blue. But it'll all work out. It's just a quick grab. Let's see. Christina says, I went out to water my plants and it was sprinkling. Hello, puppy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Hi. You going to say good morning? Good morning to them. See, over there? There. Now you're looking. Good morning. 2 days in a row, I had the opportunity to sleep in, and this booger got me up before my alarm went off. 2 days in a row. Steve, did you do that? Did you do it? He is full of orneriness and sass. Dad's in the kitchen, so he thinks there's food on the way. I don't think there is right now. His ears. He's listening. What do you hear? What do you hear? I heard that too. He might be eating something in the kitchen. You're missing out. You are missing out. What's he got? What's he doing? All right, you get back there. Or get down. There's Tracy, Jolly Matilda. Thanks for being here. Christina says that vest is going to be so pretty. I hope so. I hope so. Aw, it's a Stevie. It's a Stevie. Yeah, the one that got me up before my alarm went off. He's waiting. He thinks there's food involved. If you go to the kitchen, they all think you're coming back with something to eat. Look. I hear footsteps. I do. So I got an internet message. Not an internet message. I got a message from our internet provider this morning saying that service is going to be interrupted the 22nd through the 26th for 8 and 10 hour intervals at a time. They're doing a network upgrade, so it's going to be fabulous. except for next week when we're going to have 8 and 10 hour blackouts with no internet. So I don't know how that's going to affect me being live. I don't know if they're doing it during normal business hours, like from 9 to 5, or if it'll be at night when businesses and people are less likely to be using the internet. So I don't know how that's going to affect things. I can go live from my phone. I don't know if I can do it for a whole week or not. I've not used my phone in that way, so I don't know how that affects my data and things like that. Do not know. But we'll be finding out next week. I tend to do everything on my computer. And I know there are people that only use their phones. They don't use computers or laptops at all. They do everything on their phone. So it'll be an adventure next week, trying to figure things out. We'll see how it affects us. I'm going to go ahead and schedule my lives. I believe I'll just do it that way. And if the signal isn't good, then I'll use my phone service. And hopefully it'll work for that. I've not tested it to see. But, so it's going to be an adventure next week. And but it's all good because after next week is over, it should be fantastic. It should be fantastic. So, Christina says they've been doing the same thing there. They've been doing it at night. She says, thank God, because I work from home, right? Yes. So I'm hoping it's a smooth week. It sounds like it may be a little chaotic. I can load shorts from my phone. I don't know about videos from my phone, like longer form videos. I think I tried that on this new phone and it took forever and I got mad and just pushed cancel. So it'll, as long as I can do my shorts and I can do my lives on my phone if I have to, we'll be all right. We'll be okay. At least that's my theory. That's my theory. All right. So I'll show this again on Monday. I'll have the picture loaded by then. But I told everybody last night about a chair we went to get, and I've been praying about getting a recliner. And why would you pray about that? Well, I pray about things like that because maybe the perfect thing will come across your path, or it'll be on sale, or you'll find something perfect at the thrift store, or things like that, right? So he's waiting for food. There's nothing, nada. So last night I turned on the computer to go live, and a Facebook post just popped up out of nowhere, and it was some friends of ours, and they had a recliner they wanted someone to come pick up tonight because they had already replaced it, and this one was in the way. So I hollered at Doug, and I'm like, do you want me to see if they still have this? So I did, and they said, yes, come get it. So here's the chair, complete with a chihuahua. Can you see Stevie in there? He's hard to see, but he is in there. He's like right here in this blanket. I can't even hold it up there. He's right. Where's my finger? Oh, there it is. He's right here in the blanket. But he's the same color as the blanket. So there's the chair, and it is an electric one. And not only did it meet my needs, what we needed, right? It also is a massage chair, and it is heated. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was free. So we hit the jackpot. And so Doug brought that in last night. We ran and picked it up before our live. and then came back and did our live. Doug got it out of the truck this morning. He left it in the truck till this morning. So that is awesome. We've both tried it out. It's comfortable. It's more my size than it is his size, but he fit in it. I've got a dog in my coat. If you see me wiggling around, he's in my coat. And it feels very strange. It's just one of those fall days. I've still got my hoodie on, and I'll take it off here in a little bit. But right now it still feels good. So there it is. All right. Well, I guess we better get this show on the road. Let's get back over here to my chat. There's Carla Reyes. Hello and welcome. Let's see here. Tracy says, I do the same, Ava, and it works. Woohoo! Oh, Christina says, my hubby fixed the coffee pot, so now I have a 12-pot coffee pot again. Happy dance. Awesome. Well, are you making coffee, Doug? Will you? I just got a little bit of coffee. And then we're out. He got up before I did. Thank you. And exactly. Score. So it turned out that chair was their mom's, and one of the brothers had just showed up and got her a new chair, and so this was the chair that needed a home. So it's like, yes. Woohoo! I see member emojis there. Nice. All right, so I suppose I better get on with this. I need to get my yarn, which is okay. I don't know which one I'm going to sew with. Should I sew with the green or should I sew with this? I'm thinking I should sew with the green. Just looking at it. It isn't really going to show that much. Maybe I'll sew with that and I'll edge it in the green. I don't know. Maybe I'll sew with this. Okay, let's figure this out. So this is the back. I got to work in some ends. And I really prefer just to do that with a needle because it's quicker and easier. Let's see, let's get some music on. Oh, I know, and that's been a good one. It's still a good one. It's going to be a good one for us. It's very comfortable. Christina says, I had to make 2 to 3 pots every morning to be able to have 2 cups of coffee, and it didn't have a timer, so I had to start it every morning, and my big pot has it ready for me in the morning. Nice. Nice. Right? Me too. All right, let's get this going. Get these ends sewn in. It doesn't take long. I don't know why. It's one of those things for me. I always save it till the end. Unless I'm doing a really big project, and then I'll do them as I go, just so I don't have to spend days on end just working ends in. There's that one. There's a pin there for some reason. I had something marked. All right, I don't need that over here yet. Let's do this end. So the thing is, to do it with your needles, you got to remember to leave enough of an end that it'll work this way. And it isn't too short. Oops, that did not work. Let's try it again. And I usually do pretty good with that. I usually think about it as I'm doing it. Once in a while I forget and I end up with a really short end that I'm just like, what was I thinking? All right. When you're using a yarn needle to do the ends, it doesn't take long at all. So there's those. No ends on that one. So let's look at the next panel. That over there. Now I have more ends on this one because I did color changes, so I gotta work all of those in. But it'll still go pretty quick. Stuff rattling around. Okay. Here we go. It's an adventure. Oh, I better turn some music on. Let's do that, and then I gotta turn it down. That's too loud. That's not loud enough. There we go. That's good right there. So what are y'all going to be doing today? Got plans for the day? If you're working on a project, what are you working on? This is a sweater vest that I may wear to music on Wednesday. I made it for a specific blouse that I have. That is this hunter green, and it has some gold tone in it. You've seen it before, but I haven't worn it for a long time, so I can't really just describe it to you and you go, oh yeah, because I haven't worn it in a while. So there's that one. You know what, I better just get my trash can and be throwing these away instead of making a pile of little ends. Move it over here where it's handy. Okay. These are the pep talks I have to give myself for things to work well. Let's see. So I got up at 2 this morning. I couldn't sleep, so I worked on a video, a sunrise video. I've got it ready to do a live with on my meditations channel. Looking forward to that. I'll do that a little bit later today. All right, let's see here. Yeah, you can pull them through with your crochet hook, or I just prefer to do it this way because it's quicker, it's easier, and doesn't take long at all. And I just work those in a little bit where they're not going to come out. And done. You can make pretty quick work of it. And I don't know why it's just not my favorite part of things, but it doesn't take that long, and it isn't difficult. It's just tedious. Let's see. Oh, I have to see my temperature blanket today. Nice. Look at August. Tracy's cleaning and mowing a large backyard. Christina says I've been crocheting my color changes in as I go, so I don't have to do it at the end. Just trim the strings. Nice. Alright, here we go. Next, I'm just kind of alternating. See, that almost isn't long enough, but it'll do. It'll do. Some in here. There we go. That's all it takes. And this end right here. I've already got that side done except for this. Got 3 more and then I'm ready for the other side. So it's pretty quick work. It's not that bad, really. That was supposed to be so my August. All right, I gotta go this direction to my green color. There we go. So this is it. Just working the ends in. That one I cut. Okay, turn it back this way. Do a green one. And then as I'm sewing the pieces together, I'm not going to have to worry about these ends. Or end up forgetting to get some worked in or cut until I'm wearing it and somebody says, "What's this?" Or, what happens if I pull this? And you're like, well, I spent 48 hours working on that, so please don't pull that. All right, one more on this side, and I'm ready to flip it over. So I've got some people wishing me to start a crochet group, and I don't know where it would be, and logistically I really don't have parking space to have people over here to the house, because I gotta, even for lessons, as long as I'm not causing problems with the neighbors, it's okay. But if parking becomes an issue, that would not be a good thing for me in my music lesson business. And that is how I pay the bills. So I have to think about that. And I don't know what the parking logistics would be. So far I have declined. And I have read Tracy's comment, I guess. She says, I need to learn to crochet properly and make something other than cat blankets. Oh my goodness. To cover the couch with. My dogs love the blankets I make them, and the cats as well. So that is fantastic. And as far as furniture covers, that is a fantastic thing to do. Yeah, YouTube has some awesome tutorials, and I've learned how to do a lot of things that way. Even buying patterns, if there's something I don't understand, I can get on YouTube and type in my question and usually find a video that explains it. Thank goodness. Right? But so then we thought about doing it online, and I don't know. There's one of the schools here in town teaches like after school crochet club. It didn't meet for the whole year. Some way. But the kids had a lot of fun with that. It would just be, I don't know. I work from home due to my health because on any given day, I never know how I'm going to feel. And I might not be able to hop in a car and go somewhere to keep an appointment like that where I'm teaching class. So I don't know. Do y'all remember Trichem paints? I used to sell those, and I lived in a very small town, and so once a week I rented the community building, and I'd make a cake or cupcakes in a big old urn of coffee, and everybody just brought their projects they were working on, and I was there to help them if they needed help. If no one needed help, then I worked on my own projects, and it was a lot of fun. It was. So it will be that kind of a thing if I did it. And you can hear I'm tempted to. I just logistically, I don't think I can. Let's see. There's Nightbot reminding you that you are amazing. Tracy said she had noticed that after I get my craft room set up, I'm going to sit down with my yarn and hook it. Try to practice real stitches. Hey, if it gets the job done, it's real stitches. Christina says, the duster I'm making, I paid for the pattern, and they have a step-by-step video on YouTube. Nice. It's nice to coordinate that together like that. I always appreciate that when they do that. So I'm getting ready to this needle through there. Doesn't want to go. I'm getting ready to write up a pattern I designed, and I'm going to, now I don't know why it is so difficult. It is really hard for me to remember to turn a camera on when I'm crocheting. And I think it's because I don't like block out, okay, for the next 2 hours at 3 o'clock, I'm going to crochet. I kind of just grab my crochet and crochet for a while, and then I put it down. But I need to pick up the camera every single time so that I have a video of how I made the afghan, just like you're talking about, Christina. And So first I'm going to write it out as a corner to corner because I love doing those. I love the way they look. And then I'm going to and make it, and then I'm going to write it out as a double crochet and make that. And I'm going to make myself grab the camera every time I pick up a pair of scissors or crochet hook, whatever. I don't know why that's so hard for me to remember to do that. All right, I'm going to go this way. So I've got this much done to here. Now we're working on these ends over here. And you can't see them all because they're on the other side too. But we're getting there. We're getting there. You hear that squeaky toy? That's Mojo. Stevie's behind me in my chair. He gave up waiting for food. He's asleep. He's, Buddy used to always be behind me in my chair, and he's kind of taken over Buddy's spot in my chair. Good boy, he was a good boy. Alright, next color. Going down. So then I've got to figure out what the rules are for testers, pattern testers. Those are people who make the project using your pattern to make sure you've got everything written in correctly and don't leave anything out. I think to do that, rather than sell them the pattern, I think you give them the pattern. But what I've got to verify is, am I also supposed to supply their yarn or just supply the pattern? I'll tell you what, this is a big project I'm getting ready to make, and it might be $80 worth of yarn, maybe even more. And Christina knows how that goes because she's working on a very big project with her temperature blanket. And I can't afford to buy yarn for 2 or 3 people like that. So I'm assuming you give them the pattern and then they buy the yarn because they're keeping the project. You don't get it. But I don't know. I have to check into that and see. The other pattern, I tested it myself, but they advised for you not to do that because in your head, you already know what everything means. And if you leave out a step, it's possible that you won't notice it because you already know what you're supposed to be doing. And I had that happen. I've got to pull I don't know if I pull it or I make a correction. I don't know. But in one row out of the 40 billion rows, I forgot to say chain 2 at the beginning of the row. I forgot to say that. And even though that's not a huge thing, it's enough of a thing that if somebody is literally going word for word by the pattern, even though they've chained 2 at the beginning of each row, they might not because it doesn't say to. So those are the kind of things you need testers for. Because they're going by the pattern without any previous knowledge of the project in their head already. And I had even made that once and didn't catch that. So I did it again, and that was the owl pattern. I've got to get that corrected. Oh man. Sometimes that first stitch is hard to get to go in there. There it is. It's sewing away. You can't see it because I'm not holding it up. I'm working on it. So the pattern I'm getting ready to, that I'm currently writing up is a farm-all tractor. Yeah. Christina says, I found my graph paper and drew out my next blanket after I finished the baby blanket. And that's what I do. I do it on the computer because it's easier to make changes. And then once Doug approves the look, then I write it out on graph paper. And I do them in Excel, which is not perfectly square. Now, there may be a way to change the dimensions. I don't know how to do that. But I put it out on graph paper and choose my colors. And then from the graph paper, I write out the pattern. Almost done. This is the last one for this one. I have one more panel to go. It just takes a while. It's not difficult. It's just tedious. Alright, done. Flip it up, flip it over. Make sure I didn't miss any. Look there. Just there. Oh, it's here. Put it on this side. There. Alright, there's another panel done. One more to go. Then I can start sewing it together. He's going to town with that squeaker in there. What's going on with my phone? Phone is randomly pulling people up. Tracy says, right, that would be expensive as far as providing the yarn for everybody. It's not feasible for me to do that. And it's a tractor, so I'd have to, finding people who are interested in what you've made, which I'm making these for the farm guys, so they are going to be interested in them. No doubt of that. They're going to love it. Alright. The color is green. Shriveled up. Kind of with the scissors. Put that off. All right. Nightbot says, remember you are amazing. Absolutely. He's going crazy with that squeaker. This, here we go. We're making progress along this line. And I had to cut that. All right. Okay. The other direction. I don't know if that's going to be long enough to work with this needle or not. You have to do that with crochet. It's just so much easier with the needle. Let's see what I can do. Hold it just right. I don't pull too hard. I think it's going to work. Dog in there. He's going to town. All right, I got it done, barely. That almost wasn't enough yarn for that. All right. This color again. I made it short again. A little longer than the last one, though. Well, I have hopes it'll work. He's really having fun in there. Squeaky toys are always a hit. You can never go wrong with squeaky toys and puppies. Just hope you're not prone to headaches, right? All right, got it done. That one, and turn it. This one, and that's a nice long one there. That's good. So this is one of, I think, 5 sweaters I needed to sew together, and then I can finish the edging and be done. Alright, there we go. Little tail, and this one. Now this one has a way long tail. I don't know why I made it that long, but that's better than too short. Okay. That. Here and here. See how long that one was. Then we're going to turn it. direction for this green one here. Uh-oh. All right. Alright, I think that's it for this side. Let's do a check. Let's get on that side. Get on that side. So now we got this side to go. And then we're done working those ends in. So it really isn't that hard to do. It's just not my favorite part. And if you do it as you go, it's a lot less tedious. Alright, hold that one. Check. There's that one. And back to this color again here. Squeaky, squeaky. And here we go. There. I just prefer using that yarn needle because I can do it so much quicker than using my crochet hook to pull it in here and through there. Tail. Bring it here. Just working our way to the end of this row, and then of this side, not a row. We're ready to sew. Sew this baby together. I plan to wear it this Wednesday. This one next. And I have to turn it again. And we're going to do this green one, and then we're going to do this one. So we'll go with the green one. Oh, here to my chat. I forgot to get back over here. Oh, Christina saw Doug. I didn't see that in time. Got his shorts on. There's Debbie F. Hello. How exciting. He got up before I did this morning. Oops. Well, that's almost too short to stay in my needle. Okay, I'm gonna not pull it so hard. Little bitty movements. Let's see if I can get this to work. Small movement. One more. There we go. I'm not even kidding. That wasn't much to sew with. But it was enough to get the job done. I moved slow and did small movements. The colored one. Again, it's short too. Sometimes I don't plan ahead when I cut those off. One more time. There we go. Alright. Got it done. And so I got all of that done to here. Now I just got this much within left over. Let's do this one here. This green one. Oops. Let's get rid of. Alright, try it again. Oops, that came right out. Try it again. I made this one short. Alright, just got one more stitch though. I think we can get it. Got it. Alright, flip. Another one for the trash. And we're going to do this cream colored one next. That one. We're going to do this green one next. We're right here. We'll have to come back and go the other direction to get these back here. There's the green one. I think I've only got 3 more to do. Scissors go. I love these little craft scissors. They cost as much as a big pair, but they're very handy for crocheting and embroidery. I can't seed embroider anymore. I'm hoping that resolves itself. Well, it's a cross stitch. There we go. There we go. Okay, and that one. And that was long enough to sew with. The green one. Oops. Got my hook. Dropped my hook right down. Let's see here. Did you see the crochet hooks I sent? Count stitches and rows for you. I've not charged it together. Charged it up. It came with a charger. Yeah, look what she sent me. That is amazing. So it's a whole set. And there's the stitch markers. Here's the charger cord. And I need to charge. I haven't even got it out to see where I charge it to. So there's where it would have an LED messages there. So it's somewhere in there. Using that big one would be the counter. I'm excited. I am excited. And then these hooks, the lights in here, and then you put your hook there, and it lights your area for you. That's going to be fantastic. And the counting stitches, that'll be a game changer. That's going to be awesome. So I need to get that charged up, and I don't see where you plugged it in at. A little bitty, oh, right at the end, right there. Right there. So I'll get that charged up, and then work on a project, and I'm excited to see how that works because it looks amazing. Extra pieces in there. Don't lose those. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm excited to try this out. And in fact, it has some of these smaller hooks here. So I'm going to see if this smallest one is the size I need to do some bookmarks. Because having the lighted hook for that would be absolutely amazing because it's little bitty stitches. I don't even know if my vision is where I can do it yet, but I'm going to give it a try with these crochet hooks, the lighted hooks. If these are small enough, it may not be, because I call it string. I'll be working with string, not yarn. I'll be working with the string. I think that's going to be incredible for that. It'll be incredible for everything, but especially working on those little stitches and having it lighted. Oh, this worker's back in there. They just kind of lay in there. Everything else has a spot where it goes. So I can't wait to try these, Debbie. It's going to be so fun. Let's see. I don't want to share my for a link. Doesn't it? The counting stitches and rows. Oh my goodness. There's Jason. Hello. Thanks for being here. I'm sewing in ends so I can sew together my sweater vest. Debbie is asking which pup is squeaking. That's Mojo. He's in the kitchen with a squeak toy. He's been going crazy. Tracy says, me too. I have them all around my house, almost in every room. Uh-oh. Doug and I just had that discussion. What are you allowed to use to craft scissors for? Crafting? Not opening cupcakes? not opening candy, not cutting a wire. They don't leave the desk area. They don't go to the kitchen. Actually, he ended up buying his own pair of scissors. Oh, Doug feels your pain. Yes. Right? It's amazing. I think it's going to be amazing to use the lighted crochet hooks and to have it where it counts the stitches and the rows. Oh my gosh. Game changer. High-tech crochet hooks, right? Jason says, I can appreciate that set just by seeing it all nice and organized with everything in its place. Wasn't that a thoughtful gift? I am just so excited. And, you know, when I opened it and I showed it to Doug, I said, he can tell I've really been struggling, and that is the perfect pick-me-up. And it worked. So thank you for that. You know, sometimes I talk about specific things if I'm struggling, and most times I don't, because, you know, and I get raked over the coals, you know, for trying to have a positive outlook on life while I have lupus and fibromyalgia, asthma, and a heart issue. I get told the most ridiculous things, and you know, that, for instance, you're not facing reality, you're not being realistic, you're telling people things that aren't true, blah, 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 on and on and on. And I used to try to explain to them, and then I realized if that's what someone has to tell me, then they're really not one friend. They're also really not paying attention. Right? They're not paying much attention, or they would know. They would know. And so Debbie saw that I needed to pick me up, and Buddy had just passed away, and lupus flared, and I was just, yeah. So thank you very much for that. But what sometimes if I feel like I have to have a comeback to someone who's telling me things like that, you know, sometimes it's hard to take. Other times I'm like, bless your heart. And if you're Southern, you know what that means. And other times I'm just like, I'm really glad that you don't have to deal with that. Really, I'm happy. But other times, if it's on my last nerve, I'll tell them, you know, it takes much more strength to be positive than it does to just let your feelings run how you feel and react to people and how your day goes. It takes much more strength to take control of your day and decide it's going to be a good day, and what can I do today to make it a good day. And but I've learned just let it slide right off, and I try most of the time. Jason says, I have 3 pairs of my own scissors, one on my desk, one in my dresser, and one in my backpack, and my multi-tool as a backup. I have a multi-tool with scissors too. So I have this little crafting pair, I have a big pair with orange handles. We have kitchen scissors that we only use in the kitchen. And I have a pair that I only use for open food, so I can keep them sanitized. And I have a pair in my sewing basket. I keep a pair at the sewing machine. And then Doug has his own pair. Because he got tired of getting all of that. We're using my crafting scissors for his dye stuff. Here's Corey's Outdoor Adventures. Hello. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Well, I got all of those sewn in and trimmed. I'm ready to sew these pieces together now. And I can't wait to put that blouse on and wear this sweater vest with it. And I'll definitely take pictures to share with you guys. And I'll probably wear it during your craft hours. And I went over time a little bit. Sorry about that. So that took me about 45 minutes to sew those ends in and trim them. And that's not bad. It's just, it's not my favorite part of crocheting. So I always usually leave it to the end. But, so now I'm going to sew those together. So it's a back with two sides. I'll sew those together. I got to remember to leave armholes, right? And mark where I want the armholes to be. And go from there. I'll have to put some edging on it. Probably a button or two. So I'm looking forward to it. And thank you so much for joining me for Crafting Hour and listening to me ramble. And thanks for the conversation in the chat. And I always appreciate that as well. So I hope you all have a good rest of the day. I always never take it for granted that you spend part of your time with me, whether it's at a live or watching a video, and taking the time to say hi in the comments. Makes my day. YouTube's my happy place. And so excited. So excited. So there's going to be new things going on. I have been making some new friends over on my art channel who are also artists, and we're going to draw together and paint together. And so that's got me inspired over there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, here's my watercolor notebook, journal, sorry, and my abstract journal. And right now they're all empty except for this one. This is my Zen Tangle journal. That's the one I'm going to start today. This is an empty one. I got it to do pastels in, but I've got so many things I want to do that I'm going to need to order a few more of these. And I already know I want some bigger sized ones, like 5x7 or a little bigger. I've got plans. I've got plans for merch. I've got plans for designing my own fabrics and clothing, and putting our designs on coffee cups and hats, and I'm really excited about it. I took a class on how to do that. I didn't have all the equipment I needed to do it, but there were things in there that I could apply to what I was doing. I still don't have all the equipment that I need, but I think I have enough things now that I can make what I have work for me. If I'm gonna buy one more thing, I gotta buy a shadow box, and I've got it picked out and ready to order. Hopefully next payday I can get that ordered, and then I'll be ready to go, because I tell you what, I'm taking the abstract class, y'all know that, but I only had one, so I did a pastel drawing and I put that on there. Wouldn't that be cute on a coffee cup or a hat? in my morning live is Morning Talk with Ava, where we have coffee. So I think it would be cute on a coffee cup. And, I don't know if anybody would want them or not. I don't know, but it would be fun to do, right? I would use it. And get that going and possibly do something in the art gallery downtown. And I learned a long time ago in art club downtown that, don't be afraid to do little pieces like that. Don't be afraid to do little pieces, because your little pieces sell your bigger pieces. So if someone like that, they can commission one where it's a larger one, or you can sell prints of your originals. There's all kinds of things to do, and I'm really, really, really feeling like I need to do pet portraits. So I'm going to be practicing doing pet portraits, and I'm going to start with Buddy, I believe, and see where that goes. You could also put your pet on a coffee cup, or this has got a lot of possibilities. So I don't know, just thoughts in my head. Thoughts in my head, bouncing around, going, oh, welcome to my mind. That's how my mind goes. But anyway, and I've got to get that pattern written out and get that tractor made for Doug. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm going to have a lot of projects to do this winter. Summer's been hard on me too, because I haven't been able to get outside. Winter, I have to stay out of the cold, because the cold affects my arthritis and my lupus in very adverse ways that I do not enjoy. And usually in the summertime, I can get out and I can do things. And this summer, I have not been able to do that due to health reasons. And it's just been a hard summer because of that. Because normally I'm outside, I'm gardening. I didn't get to have a garden this year. I'm flower gardening. I did do my flowers this year, but man, I paid for it. And so I'm hoping, and if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, this year, if you have lupus, you're allergic to the sun. And if you can see that, I always get hives when I'm outside. But this is beyond. It looks like blisters, but they're solid. They're hives. And they turn white, and they felt like fire. And I was only outside for like 2 minutes. And it's just horrid and so painful. Consider it to focus. I mean, look at that. That's my poor arms. So we did go film a sunrise the other day, but I was covered and seemed to do okay. We went and filmed at one of the local creeks yesterday, and I wore a flannel shirt. So hot, but it's the only long sleeve shirt I can find at the moment. It was so hot, and we only filmed for about 30 minutes, but we walked there and we walked back home. So we were there about an hour, and I didn't break out then, but just the exhaustion hit me, and so I was out for the count yesterday after we did that. But yeah, I've never had my reaction to the sun be that drastic. And those big old hives like that took like 6 hours for them to go away. And yeah, I try not to complain too much, but man, that was the pets. So that's part of my struggles this summer. And I can't get out and do anything at all. And it's been hard. But my fishing friends and my hunting friends have told me about UV protective clothing. I didn't know there was such a thing, but they all wear them when they're outside all day and when they're at the lake and things like that, fishing. And so I'm going to buy me, first I'm just going to buy one, and then I'm going to buy at least one more so that I have a couple of those that I can keep one like handy in my purse or in the car, and the other one I can just have in the closet. And when I want to wear it, when I have a reason to wear it, I can wear it. But then I also have one that's the backup plan, because I don't know, it's, you try to be prepared all the time, but sometimes you do things on a spur of the moment and you forget to be prepared. So those would be the times I'd need having something in the truck like that would be very beneficial for me. So yeah, so I'll keep busy regardless. But man, I hope next summer is not like this summer was. And I've never reacted like that to the sun. And someone suggested that I get an EpiPen, because that's like some heavy duty things going on in your body. And I didn't go to the emergency room because I felt fine and my color stayed good. But oh, it hurt. It just felt like my arms were on fire. That's the only way I can explain it. And so I did ice and Benadryl cream. Put Benadryl cream on there. Jason says, I've heard good things about the UV protective clothes. I know some people that have really lightweight UV protective hoodies. Nice. Nice. I'll have to look and see what's available, because now that I know it's there, yeah, and it's been horrible. Jason says, I tried to muster up the will to garden, but all I ended up doing was tend a wild onion that sprouted. My wife makes fun of me because I hate onions, but it was just too cool to see it growing. You know, I grow wild onions in one of my wildflower bed, because they put out the prettiest little blooms. It's only for a little while, but they just add texture to my garden, and when they do bloom, I think it's adorable. So I will celebrate your wild onion with you. Well, y'all, I can sit here and talk all day, but I better get off of here because I try to respect your time as much as I can. And I appreciate y'all, and I want you to come back. So I will let you go. But have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. He says, yeah, the blooms are really cool. Yeah. And so just have a wonderful rest of the day. I'm going to be working up a new live for my meditations channel, a sunrise that Doug filmed. And I'm going to be working on a Zentangle in that art journal. And I'm going to charge my lighted crochet hooks and play with them and see what they can do. And probably going to play some music. I've got some practicing to do, y'all. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And as always, remember that you are an awesome individual and you're here for a purpose. And if you are struggling like I am, like I do, just know we can do hard things when we have to. So hang on with everything you've got. I see Ash from Cruz Adventures. Hello, thanks for being here. We're just signing off. But if you're struggling, just know that you are never struggling alone. It can feel like it. It can seem like it. You can just be sure you're the only one, but you're not. I know that because I've been there. I felt all those things. You're never struggling alone. So hang on with all you got and never, never give up. Love y'all. Have a good rest of the day.